Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side for now. And one of those daytime TV shows that we're doing is General Hospital. But before I get into General Hospital, I've got to tell you, so currently Bradford Anderson, who plays Spinelli, is on tour with Steve Burton, who plays Jason Morgan. And they kind of do this musical / comedy show. Bradford comes out and sings a few songs, and then Steve comes out and does some comedy, and then they do some comedy together. It's actually really cool. There's this one part of the show. Actually, okay, so wait, before I get into that. So I got to tell you, if you get the opportunity, you have to go see it. You really do. It is incredible. It cracks me up. What's funny is that And this actually will tell you what a great actor he is. Steve Burton is nothing like Jason Morgan at all. So they have nothing in common. So he was telling us like funny stories of you know, what happened like when he fell through the skylight most recently. And, you know, it was very, very, and you know, basically he was talking about how, you know, he's been with the show for such a long time. And yeah, there's been some storylines that have been kind of a little bit ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. It's a soap opera. And you know, I love that. I love that. It's fantastic. So they start off the show and Bradford sings a song and he comes out and then he opens a beer. Now here's the thing, Bradford likes to drink, which, you know, I love because I love to drink too. But the difference is that he likes to drink beer. I just can't stand beer. I've tried. I've really tried. I've tried to like it. I even tried when I went to Epcot that one time, drinking around the world, just limiting it to beer so it would be easy. No, it wasn't easy. It was harder because beer is so filling. I swear to God, I felt like at the end of that night that I was going to explode. Like if I had one more drink, I was seriously just gonna pop. So that was awful. Okay, anyways. But yeah, so, you know, and there was this one bit that they did where they did a scene from the show, and except they weren't each other's character. I mean, they weren't, so Spinelli was Jason. He played Jason, and Jason played Sonny. And that gave him the opportunity to do his best Maurice Bernard impression. Now, granted, when he, when he did Sonny's walk, it looked a little bit like George Jefferson to me. Oh my God, and there was this one part where, you know, Steve was talking about how he gets red. And Bradford was just like, I love when you get red because you look like an angry bird. Now, maybe it's the millennial in me, but I thought that shit was hysterical. I was dying laughing. In fact, I started laughing so much that I started coughing. And he's like, he looks down, he's like, well, first of all, wait, I gotta tell you. So my friend Eileen, she's my girl, right? We've been to a few different events together. I fucking love me some Eileen. And because she lives here in Las Vegas, and not Eileen Davidson, Eileen came and she saved me a seat, and it was literally like we were in the front row, So I was nervous, and then I was laughing so hard that I started to cough, and he's like, sir, it was not so funny that you needed to start throwing up. I was like, I'm sorry. But they were really cool, and I took a picture with them afterwards. I'll post it on my Twitter and my Facebook and my Instagram. They were really cool. It was really the best. It was at the Space LV, so if you get the opportunity, they've got lots of other cool shows coming up, so you should see that. And if you want to see their particular show, which is really good and I highly recommend you do, go to stonecoldandthejackal.com. And then they have their whole little tour dates where they're playing. I think they were in Seattle last night. Yeah, and then tonight I think they're in Sacramento. So yeah, just if you look it up, you'll be able to see where they're playing. You should go see it if you can. They are really funny. Like, I knew Bradford Anderson would be funny because he's always been funny. Like, he was funny at the convention. He was funny at that fantasy weekend that I saw a because he was actually kind of quasi the host, and he was a riot. So and Spinelli is kind of a funny character, so you expect that of him, right? But Steve Burton was actually hilarious, you know, and it's kind of sad in a way, because Jason is not a humorful character at all, and honestly neither was Dylan. Dylan was at least somewhat lighter than Jason, but not much. I mean, this kid is funny. Like, you know what? I'm surprised. I hope so. Michelle Stafford, who plays Nina on General Hospital, she had a web series called, I think it was called The Michelle Stafford Project, and she roped a lot of people that she worked with, whether they were from Young and the Restless, because she played Phyllis on Young and the Restless before Gina Tognoni did, and then from General Hospital. I really would love to see Steve Burton and Nina do an episode of that show together. I think they would be hilarious. I want to see the Stafford Project come back. I think it was really funny. But okay, so anyways, let's talk about funny, okay? Let's talk about the show this past week. So last week we saw that Peter August had been kidnapped by someone, right? So we saw Peter August had been kidnapped, and you know, we see or at least the audience thinks that who did it, you know, comes into the door of the cabin where he's held, and we see high heels, and then the camera pans up and it's Nina. And I was like, ooh, shit, yes, I want bad girl Nina to come back. I want Nina to let him have it. I mean, come on. Remember when she first came out of that coma, when she was married to Silas? She was unhinged. I loved it. I loved it. But this week we found out that Nina had nothing to do with it. It was Liesel. So Liesel is Nina's aunt, okay? But because Nina's father also had sex with Liesel, even though, I know this is kind of hard to figure out, but Nathan was her brother, but he was also her cousin, kind of, because, you know, Liesel was her mom's sister, and I know it's crazy, but so she's Aunt Liesel to her, but they're both talking about losing Nathan, right? So they're really upset with Peter August, and Peter August is like, I'm nothing like my father. I'm sorry. And they were like, really? You think so, huh? And first of all, I love anything that brings Obrecht back. I'm sorry. I love that woman. I love everything that she does. I would love to see more scenes with her. I would like to see her reinstated back at the hospital, but unfortunately that will probably never happen. But I really enjoy her scenes. And her anger at Peter for losing her son. Ooh, I mean, you could feel it. And Nina, too. Nina screamed at Peter that very first episode, that Monday episode. It was great. It was awesome. I loved it. And then Liesel made some comment to Peter, and Nina was just laughing. She's like, that was funny. I love that. I love that. It was funny. I was laughing at the time, too, so I thought it was hysterical. Speaking of hysterics, so Carly was going through her trial this week. And Elizabeth Hendrickson, who most recently played Chloe on All My Children, but before that, no, not All My Children, on Young and the Restless, but before that she played both Frankie and Maggie on All My Children. And there was the whole BAM thing, Bianca and Maggie. I mean, I don't know, whatever. People were crazy back then with those shippers. I just can't. So this week we saw a lot of that fallout, but we also saw Alexis. I love me some Alexis. We saw Alexis kind of exploring why she likes men that are not good for her. Because she's like, you know, I most recently had this thing with Dr. Hamilton Finn, and he was totally 100% not available, which, of course. And then secondly, we'll run through the long list, of organized crime bosses that I have hooked up with. You know, Jerry Jacks, Sonny Corinthos, Julian Jerome, Rick Lansing. She's like, you know, all those people, and they were all awful. And she's like, there was one good guy. And I was waiting for her to say Jax. I wanted her to say Jax was the good guy. No, she was talking about Ned. She was like, you know, she was talking about Ned and how, you know, she basically ran out on their wedding day because she was so nervous. I was like, really, girl? You're not even going to mention Jax at all? You mention his brother, but you don't mention Jax? Come on. Anyways, so we'll see where that goes. And then also Kiki, you know, last week she told the hospital about what happened between her and Dr. Bench. And this week, the hospital said that they investigated it and that there was nothing, he did nothing wrong. They don't have any evidence of him doing any wrongdoing. And in fact, he wrote her a glowing review, which, you know, she was certain wasn't going to happen, but it totally did. So that kind of backfired a little bit. And so she was really upset that, you know, she's now put herself, you know, in his radar. So she goes to Alexis and she hires Alexis, which I think is actually kind of fierce on Alexis' part because, you know, she dated Dr. Bench for like a hot minute, but obviously not enough to know. And if you think about it, that he totally falls into what Kiki was saying about, you know, about what she was telling Dr. Collins about how all the guys that she likes are awful, and this is yet another awful guy. Yeah, so we'll see where that goes next week because she's hired Alexis and she's got Lulu writing a story about her. So she's 100% willing to come forward, but she does need to tell Ava and Franco, and she hasn't done that yet. So we'll see where that goes. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can hashtag GH to talk General Hospital, or you can also hashtag Eastsiders to talk that. I'm doing that next. And also, you can hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your email inbox every single day. And you can look around my YouTube channel for my Storytime with Angel Benton series, and you can give this video a thumbs up. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for logging on today. Have a great day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.